All right, good morning all, and thanks for joining in for our live trading session this morning. Now, let's have a look at what we've got now. Um, Obviously, you guys know now we're trading the Euro US dollar, okay, 9 of 12 normally on these Wednesdays. Now, interesting thing, we've got a nice setup happening, okay, according to my moving average setup. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm just finalizing backtesting and that kind of thing on a couple of other instruments, but on the Euro US, I've tested it. It works nicely. Trying to see if I can find some other charts that produces, kind of similar type of results or even better. So I'm just running through those tests. But this is something I'll send out through to most of you. Okay. Once it's completed. Um, but with this one, it's traded 9 to 5. It's traded full day. Okay, that's what we've worked out for the Euro US on this. Now, this is giving a signal. It's giving a stochastic cross. Okay, 3 seconds, and then we're going to have this confirmed. So there we go. We've got the confirmation for a sell. So it's a sell signal in a bearish trend. Let's get in. Let's do a measurement and get our calculator ready. Who thought we'd start so quick in the morning, eh? Okay, let's quickly check here. Click, drag. We've got, ooh, it's a bit of a tight one. I really can't take that one. I really can't take that one, I think. No, I'm going to leave that one. Okay. Now you might be asking me, why are you doing that? What's going on now? You've got the signal, you've got everything. You don't want to take the trade. Okay. Um, One of the things I haven't told you guys about this particular system yet is that we exclude any trades that are smaller than 150 points. Okay. Um, and there's a good reason for it. The whole thing is that the costs for your trade tends to get more expensive the smaller your stop to entry gets, because the ratio between cost and stop to entry gets closer to one another. So that's why your costs start outweighing almost some of the small profits you make. So when you drop those small types of trades, you actually tend to get quite a nice improvement on your profits. Now, you do lose maybe a couple of winners and that kind of thing, but it's all fine, because the whole fact is if you're going to trade, remember, if you're going to trade with a stop to entry that is at least twice the size of spread, no matter whether you're winning or whether you're losing, it's always going to be the same risk to reward because of the cost. Okay, even though you're aiming for 2 to 1, the result will be 1.5 loss and 1.5 win, which either way you're going to go. Okay, now this one had a stop to entry of 70. Okay, on markets.com our spread is 30. Okay, so it's just more than twice the spread. But I've worked it out with that system specifically so that I do not take any entries basically that have stop to entry smaller than 150. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense and why I kind of did not jump in on that one. The system's got a 3% target as well. I mean, some of you might actually jump at the opportunity for that trade. By all means, if you want to do. But let's look at our normal stochastic setup now, because that with that one we can take another trade. And so far I'm seeing some good signs. Let's check here. Boom. Beautiful, beautiful stochastic setup there on the 15-minute. Let's check the 5. Where's the 5? Where you want to go? Am I getting something here? Nope, I'm not getting a or a divergent setup. Okay, let's wait for the stochastic to get up and give a turn. Okay, once we get that, we're going to get in for short, because I've got the 15 wanting to come down. Have a look. See there? It's just met the cross. It's wanting to go down. So we're just going to wait for the 5 to retrace, and then we're going to take that little sucker. Okay. Doesn't matter about stop to entry distance on this one, because that's not how it was tested. But this should give you guys an idea of the more or less type of approach that we tend to take within this. Okay. Now, Remember, guys, if there's any questions that any of you have got, okay, by all means, just give a shout and that kind of thing. Let me know. Type into the chat features, and I'll chat with you and that kind of thing, and try and answer your question to the best of my capabilities in terms of what we've got going today. Um, if I need to get into a bit more detail and that kind of thing, by all means, I'll do that as well. I mean, we're going to have a lot of time waiting for entry setups and so forth to occur, so might as well use it productively. Okay. So, like I said, at any point in time, guys, if you feel, okay, yeah, there's something I just wanted to check with Dirk, just shoot straight. Okay. No worries in doing that. That's what I'm here for. Okay. So like I said, yeah, we're just gonna wait. Waiting for the 5 minute to kind of just jump back up. We want that turning up. I'm expecting that to happen. This is probably going to be one of those classic setups where a lot of people tend to get in right there because they turn on the 15 already, so they got in early. But this one probably might jump up, take you out, and then turn and go and set up actually for a second divergence on the 5 minute. Um, Kind of how this plays out most of the time. I mean, I've been training this for years, so I know. But we'll just have to wait and see exactly. Like I said, that's not a good point now to take it because 5 minutes going to want to turn upwards soon. So I'll just give it a little bit of time, and then I'll jump in for it. So far, not really anything yet. We could have had a entry. It's just too small stop to entry, and we're getting a signal for our stochastic setup. So far, looks all good. Just need to wait and see exactly what the market wants to deliver. Otherwise, has there been anything quite interesting happening with any of you within your trading that you might want to have a chat about? Or this is always kind of fun for me to hear what's happened with others within their trading, and at what point they're sitting at. Kind of gives me an idea with how far you guys are getting with your trading and where you're having issues and difficulties. Okay, so good question from Bevan. Um, Bevan wants to know how we're gonna, or how do we use the moving averages in particular. Okay, with the system that we've got now. This system, it's basically a system where you're able to identify trending sections and consolidation. Okay, and we've gotten our developer to develop. You see that big red blotch on the screen. That indicator is what our developer developed for us, so that it matches up with the analysis of the three moving averages. Now, I've got a lot more on here. It's because I've got a little 8 moving average on here, but that's standard for my stochastic setup. Okay, and that 8 moving average works like a little beautiful charm in terms of keeping you out of a couple of false signals or early entries that might not go your way. Okay, so that's like my final filter for most of my trades. See, we're getting the upward swing here. Check here. Told you this is gonna happen. Remember, I can't predict the markets. Okay, there we go. Right, so I'll just wait for the second swing down, and then I'll grab that one because we've got the 15-minute making the turn, giving the divergence. Okay, so I like that. Right, so anyway, getting back to the moving average setup. It's 3 moving averages that we use. That's all SMA, simple moving averages. Okay, so you're going to go to your moving averages on the side. That's moving average oscillator. Trends. There, under indicators, trends. Boom. Okay, there we go. Moving average, you just click, drag, drop. You're going to get your little pop-up box. It's not showing now, so let me quickly get the screen sharing set properly so that you guys can follow 100% with what I'm doing. There we go. That should do it. Let's have a check. Okay, sorry for that. There we go. Okay, so we're obviously going moving averages, click, drag, drop. You see there, the last moving average I loaded is the preset settings that it comes up with. So you're obviously going to change the color, keep it simple, apply to close, and you're going to change that, the period. So you're going to set one for 100, one for 50, and one for 30. So it's the 30, 50, 100 SMAs that we use with that system. Okay. Um, when we have the lines all running in the same order, in other words, here's the 30, the green one. There's the 50. Okay. The yellow one and the red one is the 100. So whenever price is below the moving averages, we want the moving averages all pointing downwards to indicate trend. Okay. They have to run almost parallel to one another. But as long as they're pointing in the same direction, and more importantly, they're running in the right order away from price. So if I have to move my cursor away from price, now on a bearish cycle, these lines will obviously be above price. So from price, it's always the smallest first going to the largest. So we need to have the 30, then the 50, then the 100. That means they're in the right order. And when they're pointing in the same direction, that's a clear indication that we're getting into a trending cycle, so we can trade the trend itself. Okay. When the lines are not pointing in the same direction, or they're not in the right order, okay, or we get a section like that happening where you get a breach of the 50 line, getting close to the 100. If there's more than 4 candles there, the trend is also null and void. Okay. If we get a break of the 100, the trend is also null and void until all the conditions come into play again. So it's virtually just a system to kind of figure out whether we trend or whether we're in consolidation. And that's it. Okay. So it works quite beautifully for that. And I help it basically just to filter out when's the right time to get in and when's the right time to stay out. Okay. Now, that's the basic process of it. Remember what I said. First thing we're always looking for is to identify direction. And the problem that most people have is that with most indicators, what happens is it just tells you it's either bearish or bullish, or bearish or bullish. But these three moving averages, Natalia, went to not even look at the charts, because this tells you when it's actually consolidating as well. And it's useless to take trades in consolidation, because it's only gonna, kind of reverse and take you out and kind of slap you from side to side. So you want to stay away from those. Azza William, good to see you on. Okay, now basically with these moving averages then, right, as long as you've got those in, you've got something to identify trend with. Okay, so you've got three kind of signals that's going to be produced: either bullish trend or bearish trend or consolidation. So when consolidation's there, we do just absolutely nothing. Okay, it's as simple as that. What you use to identify entry with, I do not care. You can come up with your own entry method and so forth. Okay, I'm just using stochastic crosses here. It's something simple that I've put together just to kind of get an idea of, how like the system can flow and so forth. And it's working quite nicely on the Euro US. So all in all, it's a good mechanism to, especially if you guys find it difficult and you get obviously timing wrong most of the time. It could be a much better approach to try and use the three moving average system as your trend identifier. Okay, and that's it. If you need a bit of extra info on it, by all means, just pop me an email and I'll send you a bit of extra info. Okay. For those of you who would like to use the 3 moving average indicator as well, just send me an email and I'll send that through for you guys. Okay. This is kind of just to help you a bit more in terms of understanding, okay, exactly what the analysis on it is. We run it according to the conditions set for it either being a trending situation or being in a consolidating situation, okay, and it just color codes it automatically. Okay, so William, the settings for the moving averages, it's SMA, simple moving averages. They all work on the close, okay? And it's the 30, 50, and 100. So in other words, it's the 30 SMA. Let me get it in the chat here for you guys. It's the 30 SMA, it's the 50 SMA, and then the 100 SMA. Okay. Um, color the lines, that's really up to you. I've set it so that the fastest moving one is green, the 50 is yellow, and the 100 is red, because that's like my trend barrier. You know, when anything gets to the 100 or runs around there, we know trend is, going to be changed or broken and so forth. Okay, right. Um, and that's it. It's a very, how to say, simple system actually. And that's the thing. I need you guys to understand that most of the solutions or we're looking for actually get solved by some of the most simplest little tricks or tweaks. And here we're using 3 moving averages to determine when a chart is consolidating as well. Okay. Now there's other indicators that you can use as well to identify when consolidation comes in, and that could tell you when to stop from actually getting involved in the charts as well. Okay. Um, Okay, quickest answer, Bevan. So Bevan's asking, when is price consolidating according to the moving averages? It's when that's yellow. It's there when that's yellow. Okay, so remember, what are the rules? The rules I've gone through with some of the older clients and that kind of thing a while ago. But the rules are pretty simple. Like I said, if you need extra info, I'll email it through to you. First things first. Okay, lines need to be in order. So wherever price is, okay, if it's above the lines, it needs to run in order from price 30, then 50, then 100, going from small to big. If they're in the right order, it's already kind of a good go. Not yet until we get the next confirmation. So they need to run in the right order. So you can see at this point here where it's yellow, okay, they're running in the right order, but it's not showing that it's trending. And that is because, let's just look at the 5 quickly, because I might have an entry here. Oh, there we go. We're getting an entry very soon. Okay. But anyway, um, they have to run in the right order to get into the trend. But check here, they're running in the right order, okay, but they start going into consolidation. The reason being is that they have to point into the same direction as well. All three. So here I've got the 100 pointing down. I've got the 50 kind of pointing down, wanting to go sideways. And I've got the 30 going up. So they're not running in the same direction anymore. That means it's starting to consolidate. I've got what we call the sweet spot zone between the 30 and the 50. And that's where a lot of entries tend to set up as well. So you can expect price to trend, retrace, get to the sweet spot, trend, retrace, get to the sweet spot, trend, no, and then it retraces again. Here it's just started breaking it. When we get a candle breaking the 100 moving average from any side, trend is automatically null and void. Now we have to wait for everything to set back up before we can get into play with it. Okay. Those are the big little tricks. Remember what I said earlier? We're probably going to get a stochastic entry setup on the 5 minute as well for the short. Look what's happening. Exactly as I said it. It's going to get taken out, then it's going to go down. it's a standard classic flow of this. Okay, so we're probably going to take that as soon as we get the break of the 8 moving average here. Okay, but those are the basic settings, that we look for. There's also a rule where as soon as you go to more than, remember the 50 line is going to be like, we're going to call that the line where we judge price to be either on the right side or the wrong side of 50. So if the 50 is pointing down, as long as price is on the bottom side of it, it's good. When it gets to above that level, that's in what we call a little bit of a danger zone. And when it's in the danger zone, you can still take entries that get given, only if it's not more than 4 candles on the wrong side of 50. If it goes to more than 4 candles on the wrong side of 50, consolidation. There's a weakening of the trend, and most likely we're going to get a trend change. Okay, so I hope that's made a lot more um, clearer in terms of how to read the 3 moving average system for you. Okay. Um, Okay, that is one that we've specifically developed, Bevan, that I could send to you guys for free. There's going to be little extras that we can send you and those type of things. This is something that the developer put together for me as a favor as well. Um, so I'll just send this through to you guys. Just do me a favor, send me an email, okay, requesting the 3MA trend indicator. Okay, and then I'll send that through for you guys as well. Um, and then it's just installing it like any other normal indicator and so forth. Okay, so we're getting the break happening. Check here. Okay, as soon as that closes, we're going to take the entry for a short based on our stochastic setup. So we're going to hold thumbs and we're going to hopefully get some good trades coming up today. Okay. All good, Bevan. All good, man. Like I said, the main thing for me is that all of you make money as well. Uh, I've got this weird big dream, where the more people we can teach to do this properly, um, especially in this country, this kind of starts filling that gap of what we've got in terms of jobs and that kind of thing. And if we can get more people to kind of get into this, we're actually pulling more foreign currency back into this country, strengthening it as well, based on that. Because what's more better than pulling in foreign currency, especially against a weak rand, and enjoying the fruits of your labor. Ooh, big move down. Okay, let's see here. Still just under 3 minutes. It's lacquer to see that, but it always feels like I'm up and missing out on a big move. That's why I'm really not that bothered, even though that's a big candle. Look at how far we still have to go. Okay. Also, we might get a slight change. This might be a much bit bigger, so we could get, after that confirmation, we could actually probably get in then for the 50 moving average setup. Still needs to move further before we can do anything on that specifically. Okay, so stochastic entry, waiting for you, 2 minutes roughly, and then we'll be able to know whether we're going to get in or not, as long as it closes below the moving average there. Nice big tail there, big movement that it had. Love seeing that. Just gives me a lot more confidence in the terms of the direction I'm going to be going in. Beautiful stochastic setups on the 5 and the 15. When it's like that, it's beautiful. Love it. It tends to play out nicely then. Okay, so we've got about almost 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock now. Sorry, 1 minute and 30 seconds. And we'll know. Let me just get the calculator ready. And then we should have the trade very soon. So let's quickly check here. Divided by. Okay, so obviously I've got everything in. I'm just waiting for my stop to entry distance. Once I've got that, jumping in head first with this one. 1 minute. Let's see what happens. Okay. Right. Ticking down. 30 seconds. Almost there. Still looks good. Might as well get my new order window open. Okay, I'm gonna need to check volume. In a few 10 seconds. Let's check. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Cabo. Chipiro. 97. 97. That means. Oh, it's gonna be a big one. Come now. 97 means. Oh, okay. 10.3. Sell. Boom. That's done. Set the stop in place. Okay, check here. You see there? You guys probably don't see this. Let me get this up quickly. Just gonna change the sharing settings so that you guys can see what popped up now. Boom. There we go. Need you guys to see this there. Okay. Check the window that popped up. I've entered the trade. You know that obviously. Then when I load the stop, it comes up with this confirmation. One-click trading. Okay. If you ever want to have the most irritable method of trading activated, make sure you accept the terms and conditions and go with one-click trading. I hate that. I hate that with a passion. Okay. Um, because it doesn't confirm your orders for you. So if you make a mistake, it's just going to take the trade. You know? um, uh, Convenient, yeah, but I mean, is it convenient to put a brick on your um, accelerator pedal of your car just because you don't have to put your foot down now and you can be busy with something else? I think not. You know, um, so always cancel the one-click trading. Never, ever go for the one-click trading. Now we can't let a stop. Why? Because price is a lot closer than the required distance. Now you're going to notice this differs from broker to broker. Check here on markets.com, it's 80 points, whereas on ACM Gold it's 50. See? Each brokers will have their own perks and they'll have their own drawdowns and those type of things. And playing around with a couple of different ones is always good. It's always good to have, you know, your account spread across a couple of brokers, purely for the fact that you're diversifying. Firstly, your portfolio. Yeah, you're not hoarding everything at one broker. So if something goes balls up, um, you're having trouble with getting money out of that account or so forth. Um, but in the end, it's basically just making sure that you're well diversified and that you don't get into troublesome spots, okay, by risking everything on the same account. It's just smart portfolio management, and that's what it always comes down to. Okay, right. So we're still going to wait a little while, obviously, for that before it actually kind of helps us to be able to trigger our stop, because this needs to move down, or down firstly, at this point in time. Let's just see what it does. Okay, remember, obviously, if it's going to go, let me show you what I'm going to do. This is where I use, let's just close this because I'm not going to be able to place it now. Mental stop. Might as well go to right click, close order. I've got that open. As soon as price touches that line, I'm going to be closing. Don't want to hit it by accident now. That's the thing. So Oh, this is probably going to be one of those ones where it's going to take us out twice and then go into the direction that we were hoping. I've had it happen before where it does a setup like that and it actually takes me out 3 times in a row. And then it goes the intended direction. It's a bummer when that happens, but it does happen, you know. It's like once in a blue moon that you get that type of setup. Just keep an eye on it. See what it wants to deliver. Come on, sellers, where are you? No, don't you don't normally have problems with withdrawing your funds, Bevan, not at all. Things ACM basically they're registered with the FSB, okay, the local authority board, financial services board, and oh, it's points. I'm just waiting, waiting. Going to be closing very shortly. Almost. That's out. Stopped out. Manual exit. Okay, you saw I did that now. That's how I manage an entry that I can't load stop with because it's just too close. That's one of the things we're going to unfortunately have to sit right at the screen. We're probably going to get a second entry pretty soon. Cross is coming up, and then I'm going to get in again. Believe it or not. Okay, but look at how that is running towards the support resistance level. Hey, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so it's all looking good still. Always happens every now and then. Normally with this setup, you lose the first one, get into the second one, and then you win. Sometimes you get the win straight off the first one. It's awesome when that happens. But yeah, with withdrawing the funds, you shouldn't have an issue whatsoever. It takes normally 3 working days or 3 business days, is what they class it as. They're always gonna refund it or withdraw the money to the same method or approach that you've deposited the money with. So if you deposit it from your credit card, they're going to transfer it into your credit card. If you're going to send a wire transfer from a bank account, they're going to send it back to that bank account unless you update your banking details with them. Okay, so you shouldn't have an issue. If they don't send you your money, that's when you go to the FSB. You tell them, listen here, this brokerage is not playing fair. They're not releasing my money. They're not allowed to. This is why brokers will have what we call segregated accounts. They keep your money separate from the rest. Okay, and this means that nobody can dip into that pool. Okay, this is when you run it in your own account. Okay, never just put money into someone else's trading account. Because as soon as you've done that, if there's no contracts that's been set up or anything like that, they walk away. There's nothing you can do. Okay, technically it was kind of like fraud then, you know, and you're gonna be feeling it, you know. So just don't be silly and stupid and push money into someone else's account. Always do it in your own because you have got control, you have got access to it, and so forth. But no, you should never have really any issues with withdrawing your money at all. Okay. They might sometimes just need to have you update your FICA documents or those type of things just to make sure that you are the right person, you know, and trying to withdraw money, that kind of thing. Um, and it's actually quite simple to move your money from one broker to another as well, because there's just a form that you fill in, and the new broker will actually do all the work in getting the money over. Okay, so um, it is quite nice in terms of making sure that you do get your cash and that kind of thing. That's why I'd rather go with reputable brokers, okay, ones that I know that I've used and that kind of thing, instead of just any type of broker. I always like to test them for a little while first, just to get a nice feel for them, see how their service is and that kind of thing, before I put anything big in there really. I mean, I'm just gonna not gonna blindly push money into any broker, you know. That's just idiotic. You want to make sure that you're dealing with, good people, that they take care of you, that kind of thing. Um, that's basically it. So no, you shouldn't have any issues really in terms of getting your money out. Okay, right. Any other questions, by all means, just give that shot. Like I said, we're just waiting for an extra little signal that could be popping up anytime now. Okay, I'm just gonna swap over and check. Okay, all looks good there. And we're just waiting now for the drop to happen. Loving that level there. Where that support and resistance line is. You can see that it's trying to push to that point. Just can't get past it. Hopefully we're going to get that bounce, and we're going to play that bounce down. We could always get the break up. Okay. We have to wait and see what actually transpires. So far, the setup for the downwards move looks a lot more promising than the upwards move. That's why I'm really not that bothered about the upwards break. Well, we might get it happening today though, because of the 1 hour. There's nothing really confirmed there. And not only that, on the 1 hour, touched the 100 moving average, so we can expect a trend change. So therefore, we can actually expect this to probably go down. Um, this is just standard type of analysis at this point in time, just kind of getting an idea and a feel for what could be happening. Everything's setting up beautifully though for a good downwards move. Looks good on the 15, like that. 5, starting to get it now. Okay, so we've had basically one stop ran today already. All good, all part of the game, like I said. We have good days, we have bad days, we have some normal days. Then we have some days where there's absolutely nothing that comes up. It's just how it goes. You just trade what comes up. And that's it. Can't really force anything in particular to happen. Okay. Right, so 3 minutes still before we really have anything there. Okay, let me just get the sharing set up properly again. Boom. There we go. There it is. Okay. So, let's see what this does from this point onwards. You see, the thing is, I want you guys to try and play around with a couple of your own little techniques. Just try a couple of things. Remember, that's what the demo account's there for. That's where you can make your mistakes, where you can. That's where a lot of learning's going to happen. Trust me, the biggest part of trading is going to happen once you start going live, because then it's getting to learn to control the emotions. But that's why I'd let you guys kind of play around on the demo account, get a feel for things first, prepare yourself for what it's like to run with a live account. The big difference between a demo and a live is the emotional involvement. Okay, and it does make a difference. Um, but this is why I only let you go live once you've got a tick chart strategy developed, because then it shows me that you've got a plan of action that you can run with. And then I'm not that bothered, because then I know at least you know what you have to do at any single point. So if there are mistakes that come up, yeah, then you know that you've been influenced by emotions, my friend. You know that. Okay. And the beautiful thing then is that because you know, you can resolve it. You can fix it. Problem is when you're trading, you don't know what's going wrong. You see. Now, how do you fix something that you don't know what the issue is? And that's why we run with the method of approach that we do to make sure that, you know, we're always in control in terms of whatever happens. And that reduces losses. It makes profits more consistent. And you actually start seeing growth on your trading accounts, okay, compared to all the others. It makes a huge difference, you know. That's why I love running with those. It's a beautiful way of just making sure that subconsciously, you know, you start getting into a habit and the proper habit of analyzing your system. That's why those tick charts are important. Okay, and learning to develop them properly is a big skill must. Okay, it's one of those things that's going to make sure you guys will be able to do this completely on your own without ever needing my help or advice again. Yes, some of you still kind of, you know, ask for advice here and there, and it's all good, you know. I mean, I've been doing this for a long while, so it's quick for me to spot maybe a couple of tweaks here or there in terms of what you might need to be doing. We're at the close of the candle. Unfortunately, it did not confirm because it closed above the 8 moving average. So I'm still waiting. Hopefully the next one. That goes. I'm in. So let's just wait and see. Yeah, William, I got your email for the 3 MA trend indicator. Basically, when we're done with this session, I'll just mail that through to you. Bevan, if you would like it, just do the same as well. Any of you watching the session as well on the normal Hangouts link, or sorry, on the normal registration link, you know, if you're looking for the 3 MA indicator, just hit me an email, ask me for it, and I'll make sure I'll send it through to you. Okay. So I'm only going to send it to those who request it. Okay. At least that way I know that, you know, the people that are active are getting what they need. Um, okay. So okay. Shot Bevan. I'll just keep an eye out for your email as well. Okay. Let's have a check. Okay. So there's 3 minutes. Then we're gonna have hopefully confirmation. Let's just see what happens. Okay, got your email as well, Bevan. Thanks, man. Okay. Alright. And now that thing's pushing up again. Interesting. Still halfway. Nothing stops that thing from going down. What you gonna do? Let's see. About 2 minutes. Yeah, just more than 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes on the dot. 1 minute, 1 minute. Let's see. Okay, 30 seconds. Getting close. Is it gonna be the confirmation candle, or is it gonna make us wait another 5 minutes? Gonna have to wait and see. No confirmation. Went up, closed above it again. We can sort of see now how the 8 moving average kind of just makes sure that I don't get into unnecessary trouble, I would say, with my entries. So if this goes even higher, well, it's kept me out of a bad trade. This could be the one though. Just have to wait and see. About 4 minutes before the finish of that candle. Hopefully plays the way we want it to. Big push up. Now it's breaking that level. You can see now. Gone below it again. Two and a half minutes. It looks like this might take a bit of time. One and a half minutes, or just under 1.5 minutes. Should I stay or should I go? Let's see. 1 minute. Definitely trying to push it above that level. Solid push to the up there with about less than 5 seconds to go. Okay, that one's probably going to be out. But I saved myself from another loss. See how small things like that make a huge difference. The key trick in building systems or strategies, right, is being able to identify where the weak points are within your system. To do that, you need to be able to backtest. Once you do your backtesting correctly, and you can identify these reoccurring weak spots, then you know what to focus on in terms of trying to fix your system or make it produce better profits. And from that point, then, it's normally small little changes that actually bring around the significant results that you're looking for. It's funny how it works, but it's like one of my clients is basically, going live, or he's been live now for a little while. Emailed me and asked me, okay, he knows his system's working. It's producing good signals and so forth. But a lot of the signals that he gets, they unfortunately all kind of hit him out first and then they go. So that's when I kind of just made the recommendation of fitting maybe the 8 moving average in as just a final filter to keep him out of those false little signals. And when he applied it, it basically removed 95% of those false signals. Changed the whole picture. Something as small as that. Okay. Um, and you're going to notice it's going to be different, obviously, for different types of strats or different types of flows or the way in which you're going to target the chart. But the main thing is that I want you guys to be able to get to that point, develop that skill set where once you've tested your system, you're able to identify what the overall conditions are in terms of what's causing you to accumulate too many losers, or what is causing you to throw away maybe some good profits that you could actually take sometimes. Okay, might a ratcheting stop work and removing the target? Might it work just taking your entries maybe a little bit later instead of earlier? Okay. Um, do you maybe tweak the stop to entry distances so that you shorten your targets? Okay. All kind of little questions that you start looking at and so forth when analyzing your system to find out what you need to change, what you need to tweak. Okay. Um, and it all makes a huge difference. We're starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger candles. You can see it's market opening. Early morning. Um, and just look at the small amount of candles before we started this morning, and now how big the candles are compared to what it was before. Now you can see there's a lot more volumes, a lot more movement happening. And that's what we need in order to make money. You can't really make money in a section like that. Yeah. Um, yeah. Those of you do, well done, but it's not something that's sustainable. That I can tell you. Okay. For me, it's all about the sustainability in terms of being able to trade a system that can be sustained for a long time. That's really more important. I want to make money always, not only once. And I'm sure it's the same way with you guys. That's why you're here, obviously. Okay, we've got about less than 50 seconds. Getting a bearish candle. Looks like it's finally wanting to come down. We'll see. Is the divergence still there? Yes, it is. Just. 30 seconds. Let's have a quick look at the 15. Still looks good. I like that. So the 5. Can't see any divergence there. Can't see any divergence there. I'm looking at the bottoms now. Um, Started from the bottom. Okay. No confirmation yet. Hopefully next candle do it. Might look a little bit better then. We'll see. How's this gonna go? If it moves along too, much in that sense, then it becomes kind of pointless taking the trade later on. Because it's probably going to change the way in which the 15-minute setup looks, and it might cancel out the divergence there as well. Only time will tell. So we're just going to have to wait and see what it really wants to do. Big upwards push. Would have taken us out. How I love that 8 moving average. Small little things. And then everyone tries to overcomplicate everything always. Gotta laugh at it. Okay, so far that's looking good. I like the way that's running. Inverse hammer maybe? Well, still too early to tell. Only halfway through that candle. You guys remember the support and resistance level we put down, right? Look how this plays. Boom, 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 boom. And it's not like I guessed where it has to be or anything. You see, it's insane how well these things work. Look there, boom, spot on. Boom, boom. Getting close. Okay. And that's the thing, eh? The markets love to do these things over and over and over. One minute, then we'll know. Just less than 30 seconds. And look there. Starting to show an inverse hammer. Only problem is it's obviously not quite high enough. Doesn't matter. Looks like a good turnaround signal. Five, four, three, two, one. Getting the cross on the five as well, which is good. Also, I'm seeing that it is breaking the eight moving average finally now. Look how it's getting us into a better position on the chart. How many times would we have been taken out if we took every single red turnaround candle trying to point down? Look how often the stochastic pointed or went down as well. The crosses it gave in terms of getting into that trade. We missed most of it purely for the fact that we waited for the eight moving average. So we missed a couple of false signals, which is awesome. Just waiting for that confirmation now that I'm going to get in. It should show you guys a good idea of the approach I take. You know, the way in which I kind of wait for a more appropriate setup to occur. I just don't go in for any and every signal. That's just stupid. I test and make sure that the entries I do get into actually pay off. That's the key difference. Most people just get in because they think that if they get in now, there's a good chance to make money. No, when you're guessing like that, that's when you're gambling. Okay, we do not gambling. We analyze. We make sure that the odds are in our favor, and from that we base off our decisions in terms of whether we get in or not. Nothing else. Okay, it's about roughly. Should be about 4 minutes left, or less than that now. Platform's taking its time to update. So be it. Okay. Let's just wait. Insane drop, eh? Love it. That's definitely our entry candle at this point in time. Okay, let's just see. Let me get the calculator ready. Divided by. This is going to be a nice big stop to entry. Love it. Even more profits. 139 so far. Good. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, let's quickly get the measurement. Chasing, oh, there we go, boom, 150. Let's go, 150, 6.8, new order, and sell, boom. In we are. Now I can set the stop, definitely. There we go, stops in place. Twice the distance down. So if it was 150, we're looking at 300. We're looking at 300 over there. 300. There we go. Bump. Done. That's our trade so far for the day. Trade number 2. Hopefully that goes our way. So the 5 minutes going to come down. It's probably going to come back up and then go down. That's the normal expected run of this type of setup. 15-minute. Check here. This is why I'm confident. I've still got all that momentum wanting to come down. Not only that, this is setting up actually for an entry setup on my 3 moving average system now as well. We're at the first cross there, at the second cross there, which unfortunately did not give the bigger than 150 stop to entry distance. This is most likely going to give it. So if I do get that happening, I'm most likely going to be able to take this trade. It needs to go a little bit lower. We've still got about 7 minutes. And we're going to have that cross confirmed. We should be able to take that entry. Then we'll have taken 3 trades for the day. 1 loser so far. And then the rest is kind of just, setting up as it's going along. So far, I like what I'm seeing. I really like what I'm seeing. Okay, Bevan, I'm trading 2 different systems. 2 different systems from one another. This is why it might seem confusing. The stochastic setup is a completely different system towards the 15 moving average or the 15-minute moving average setup. The moving average setup I trade on 15-minute charts. So on the 15-minute charts, everything's in order. But on the 5 minutes, I'm trading my stochastic setup. And there, all I need, ignore the 3 moving average indicators. Okay. All I need is I need the stochastic on both the 5 and the 15 to be overbought or oversold. So I've got the 15-minute quite high. I had the signal on the 5 minute, which should come up now, yeah, which gave me the entry signal over there with a cross there and the break of the moving average there. And then there has to be divergence at the tops, indicating that it's most likely going to go down. That's why I took that. Okay. Yes, this system works completely against the normal moving average setup. And I trade it that way because when I don't have the moving average setup come in play, I have the stochastic setup working. Okay, and when the stochastic setup isn't working, that's when I get the moving average system in play again. And that's all it is. Okay, so we're going to get a confirmation on the 5 minute now going lower, not yet on the 15. So yeah, don't get confused between the two. I'm actually trading 2 separate systems. Okay, and yes, it's the stochastic setup is final confirmation on break of the 8 moving average. That's why I didn't get in on any of those. Even though I got the signals, I didn't get in because I didn't break the 8 moving average there. That's why I didn't get taken out in those trades. That's why the 8 moving average works almost like a little final filter for me. Okay. So it's 2 different systems, and that's what you're going to notice. You guys will later on have more than one system as well. Okay, one for each different type of market condition. That's the real way a proper trader actually trades. You're not going to have one system you trade that the whole time. You're actually going to have think about being a trader as being a specialist like a carpenter. In order to do your job as a carpenter, Okay, you've got a set of tools. Okay, you can't rock up with just a hammer and expect to do the job. You're going to need a saw. You're going to need a drill. You're going to need some nails. Um, some screws and those different types of things. There's a lot of different components you need to get the entire job done. Same as within trading. One system is just simply not going to cut it. Um, yes, you could make some nice profits and that kind of thing, but what if that system doesn't run with the market cycles that are currently in play? Then there's nothing that's going to be traded. So having another system can get you into those types of market conditions. And that's where the real difference, comes in. So I hope that, kind of explains the approach even better now. Okay, so it's two different setups that I'm trading at the same time. Okay, this is why a lot of the times people see me take a sell entry on the Euro US, and then all of a sudden I take a buy entry, and they're like, but why are you doing that? Why on a buy now when you were in a sell in the other one? And that confuses people completely. But if the one system gives me a buy and the other system gives me a sell, I don't care. I take it because that's what the system tells me to do. Worst case scenario, everything goes against me, I lose 2%. Good scenario or midway, I win one, I lose one. So I win two, I lose one, I'm still winning. Best case scenario, both wins, 4% profit. See what I'm saying? Okay. Um, so it actually plays more into your favor that way. Yeah. But yeah, so hopefully you guys picked up a lot just with that on its own already. Kind of should give you a good idea of how to really approach these. So that looks good. I'm happy with the way that everything's running at this point in time. We're probably going to get the setup entry for the 15 minute. So let's keep it on the 15 at this point in time and have a look. Like I said, it's going to confirm in about 2 minutes. So far, we're sitting at the 150 level or just more. So it looks good. If it keeps there or pushes down a little bit more, it's definitely going to be an entry. 3% target on the 3 moving average setup. So you can see that even the different systems have got different targets as well. They've got different rules from one another. So the entries are completely different from one another. Here you go, pushing even more. Looks like today might be a strong bearish day, hey? I love it when the market runs. Starting to get into profit slowly but surely. That's the comment section for when you're trading more than one system. So I'm going to leave the stochastic system as an open comment, and I'll use a 3MA comment on this one. It's moving beautifully, love it. Okay, let's quickly get the calculator out and ready because we're definitely going to get confirmation now. There we go. Divided by. Okay. Oh, broken that level there as well. Now I'm even more happy. It looks like this is going to be a good runner. 15. Five, four, three, two, one. We have got 2, 5. Boom, 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 boom. New order. 3, 4. Sell. Boom. That one's done. Now let's get that one stop into place as well. Same stop loss level. Stop loss at most recent high and low within 7 candles. Target this time is 3. So now I'm going to go for 3 times. So that's 2. There we go. 255 times 3. It's 765. 766 is as good as I'm going to get it. So that's my target for the 3MA system. Boom. A lot further, isn't it? That's how the system runs. Nice bearish cycle, going good there. I'm happy with the way things are going there. Okay, now this just needs to run. And that's the thing you're going to notice. The three moving average setups, because it's 15-minute candles, they're going to take quite some time to actually play out. Take a lot of time to set up as well. You know, a lot of the times you get consolidation, so you don't get any trades whatsoever. You average roughly around about anywhere from 3 trades to about even more for the week. But on average, you're looking at 3 trades per week on the Euro US when using this system. Into 2 trades, one's running beautifully in profit now, halfway basically almost in terms of running where it needs to. So we're in 2 trades with 2 different systems. Now it's waiting and seeing. Remember, the first one was unfortunately a fluke. Kind of played with us slightly. That's what the market does. Okay, it's expected. These things do happen with everyone. So now it even happened to me. We can't really predict which one's going to go the way. All we know is that the setup's there and the chances are good. So when that happens, then I'm taking it, no matter what. If it goes against me, it goes with me. Don't really bother. I'm not going to lie. I love it when it goes my way. Because we make money, obviously. Um, but yeah, we're just waiting on that to do its thing now. Let's go and look at the 5 minute again. See what that's doing. Looks all okay. Good. Remember what I said as well. We expect this to go down, then come up, and then go down and hit the target. But so far, this is running very beautifully. The thing I like the most is the fact that we have had a break of the support level over there. That's what's making me kind of smile even bigger. Yeah. Um, love seeing that. Looks great. Okay. So it just needs to do what it needs to do. We need to give it the time now to kind of have its flow. Okay, we're almost well, halfway into our session. Time's actually flying. 20 seconds. Okay, let's see. If there's any other questions? Nothing there. Okay. Slight jump there. Interesting. Like I said, we can expect the 5 minute to come up for a little while and then it should continue going down. Normal cycle flow for the stochastic setup. Still got a little way to go. We're just gonna need to give this time. I'm not even gonna bother looking at the 15-minute chart at this point in time. Like I said, purely for the fact that thing's gonna take some time, before it really hits a stop or target. You so we'll just see. Question time then. Okay, so anything anyone wants to ask? Well, we're obviously going to be waiting for a little while for anything to happen. If we could force the market in a direction, it would be pretty awesome. But we're going to need some big accounts to be able to do something like that. Also, we don't want to be caught for insider trading. um, sure. Like I said, if there's any questions any of you've got at this point in time, by all means, just shoot. Let me know. We can tackle them again. The all in all important question. Backtesting product. Okay, let me give you an update. I've been running some tests yesterday as well. Okay. Um, I'm just sitting with the developer now and chatting with them in terms of a couple of things that we need to do and so forth. I've done a couple of tests on my side and so forth. Runs beautifully. Um, it's the brand new tweak that I made a mention of last week, Monday, to him, that I wanted him to bring in as an addition to the Pro version. Um, we're just finding that there might be a slight little issue, uh, but I think it's just that the installation was slightly corrupt. So I'm just going to reinstall and retest and check what happens. Um, so hopefully by the end of today we'll have a much better idea whether everything is running perfect in the way it should be. So obviously after today's intraday session, I'm just going to be running quite a couple of tests and checking, whether those issues are solved. Once that's good, then hopefully I can start running with it, and it should be available by this evening. Okay, but I will send an email out to let you all know. Uh, Sorry to say, though, that I have come up with another idea for an update on the product as well. It's insane how my mind runs with that. But don't worry, we're not going to bring that update in yet. There's still a couple of other things that I'm looking at that we could add in as well. We'll just bring that in as future updates to the product. Okay. Um, so we'll just update the version of the product itself, that kind of thing. But at this point in time, with what we've got so far, it's already an insanely powerful system. Um, so yeah, hopefully, like I said, I've ran some tests yesterday, that kind of thing. I've just picked up a few, not a few, just one little glitch basically, well, not glitch really. Um, Works on the developer side. I just checked on my side basically. Just had one little issue, um, and like I said, I think it's probably just an corruption with the install process. I'm just gonna rerun with that and check if it solves the issue. If it does, then we know everything's 100%. Then I'll let you all know that we're sending it out and that kind of thing. But the new updates, to let you guys know. Um, Okay, yeah, I'll definitely be sending everyone, that are current clients in that sense, a coupon to use, okay, on the product. You can use it on either the standard or the pro version. Okay, so that coupon code and so forth will come through to you guys on mail. And then to give you an update or an idea on what's happening in terms of that new update we've been working on for the last 2 weeks. It's incorporating magic numbers into the pro version. That means basically that if you're trading a system that's got two different types of entries, or maybe when conditions are very good, you go for a 3% target, where with a little, let's say only half of the conditions met for a particular setup does give you entry, but you limit your risk to 0.5%, maybe, and only go for 1%. It's basically a system that has got different types of entry requirements, maybe like running with something like the Ichimoku. Okay, it's got different entry signals, different ways of running it, and so forth. But what it allows you to do is you'd be able to test a multiple type of entry criteria system and set specific magic numbers, or almost put like an ID to each configuration for the trade setup. So if you're running a system that has got three different types of setups for entry, one uses stop at most recent high low, another one uses a stop of only 100 points maybe, and so forth. You give each one an ID, you load the conditions on, then you set the configuration for another ID, which is maybe trade part 2. You add that into the conditions that get met for that one specifically. Now you can update each of those that's got their own little ID or magic number separately, and it won't update everything. So if you only need a portion to be updated, it can update only that portion. This blows the whole thing open now, so that literally any type of system can be tested with that backtest product now. Okay, it makes tweaking insanely fast. You're able to update single trades only. So if you only want to look what would happen if this one particular setup or condition had a different type of play or plan of action, you'd be able to check it on one trade and not, kind of do all the trades at once. Okay, so you can have a very more, how to say, a strategically laid out system then. Okay. So that's the new update that's being worked on now, and that we're just getting right and so forth. Um, like I said, that just popped up last week, Monday, in my head, and it was like, oh yeah, that's definitely gonna, be a huge plus within that system. So yeah, like I said, that's the latest one. Then there's just a couple of small additions that we're going to bring in a bit later, but that'll come up in an updated version later on. And yeah, that should be it then. But we'll mail you guys and let you know about all of that, as it's happening. So it's the product's basically done. It's just making sure that the issue that I've got was just maybe an install issue. Like I said, everything's working beautifully on the developer side. On my side, I've just been checking it for a little. Like I said, been running the test and that kind of thing. Only one issue, not a big issue though. But like I said, it's maybe just a small corruption that came in with the installation. So it's just going to have to remove and reinstall and see if that solves the issue. If it does, then definitely by this evening that should be available. Okay. So cross thumbs. Let's hope it's, uh, as we've figured out now, it's probably just an install issue. But it shouldn't be that difficult to fix if it is another issue. So yeah, we'll just I'll keep you guys updated on that. Okay. Right. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? Because like I said, we're still going to wait a little while. There's nothing really happening now. It's just setting up for that small retracement before it probably has its next drop. 15 minute. What are you doing? Okay, it's halfway. Still wants to go though. Okay, so I should give it its time it needs and have it run. Okay, so all in all, it looks like then, yeah, most of the questions is handled. Looks like, you guys are happy so far. So, if you're happy, I'm happy. And obviously, when we make money, I'm even more happy. Still a lot of sideways movement. Not much happening. Well, looks like it's wanting to push down now. We'll just keep an eye on it. The further you go, the happier I'll be. Okay, definitely pushing lower. I like that. But how far can you go? We'll wait and see. Oh, hopefully today turns out to be a beauty on the markets. Bit of uncertainty there. Okay, 5 minute is slowly but surely picking up while we're getting sideways movement, more or less, on the 5. All good. Not really got much of an issue in terms of that. The more sideways it goes, the better for me. A slight push up. Okay. Interesting. It's all good to happen. We need to see that happening. Okay, a bit of a bigger push up. 30 seconds, let's see. What is it doing? Not much, really. Okay, much bigger push up there. Hopefully it forces the 5 minute the way we want it to go. Sets up beautifully for that next downwards move. As long as it stays more or less at that level and breaks down, I'm happy as a chappy. Much bigger push up now. Let it just run. Okay, we're seeing, prices jumping up quite a lot more now. 15, still looks. It's looking like it might lose some. Seeing divergence set at the bottoms as well. This could go one of two ways. It's gonna have to wait and see exactly what it's gonna do, but it's gonna be determined by what happens on the 5. Short term wise, obviously. So we'll just see. Shooting up quite high there. All my stops, all my targets are in place, so I've really got no worries in terms of, what it does from this point onwards. What it does is what it does. Can't argue against that. But yeah, it just needs to be given the time in order to fruitfully deliver its profits. Okay, so ooh, see now it's floating nicely. That's what I want to see. It can move up, but I just don't want a too strong move upwards. Okay, no new questions yet. All good. Like I said, if there's anything else that comes up, by all means, just give it a shot. Let me know. Yeah, it's kind of a up and down push. It's not really wanting to pass that entry level mark, which is interesting. That's a good signal for me. Okay, 10 seconds. Let's see what that does. Okay, so it's kind of, let's say, losing momentum for the upward swing. Looks like it though. This could just be the start of a new upwards move. Could be anything, really. Okay, pushing up still. Halfway for that candle to go. We're about 2 hours into our session with 1 hour left. I don't think we're going to see exactly how the two current trades are going to transpire before the end of the session. So I'm just going to need to keep an eye on it throughout the day. Much bigger push up. Okay, another little candle's just formed, so that one's finished forming. Could this be the turn of that swing? Slowly but surely looking like the turn is wanting to come now. Like I said, you're going to notice most of the time we're going to be sitting and waiting. You know. Question is, how long do you want to sit and wait? That's really one of the first questions you got to ask yourself. Okay? Because it's all about devotion towards time and that type of thing with this. You're not going to want to put, a full 3 hours aside like I do, to trade these type of charts. And don't focus on intraday trading. Going for the larger time frames works a bit better. I mean, the 15-minute chart, I trade full day, but it only makes a new candle every 15 minutes. Therefore, I only need to check the charts once every 15 minutes instead of keeping an eye on it the entire time. So trading a 1 hour chart only once every hour. Okay, you got to find that balance that works for you, and the only way to do that is to try and play around. You start getting a better feel. You also get an understanding for what your normal day flows and runs like. Um, it looks like it's starting to make that turn. We've had the confirmation of the previous candle closing. Um, looks like it could be a turnaround coming up. So let's just see what it does. And another push up. Yeah, it's going to take some time. Like I said, I don't think we're really going to see targets or stops being hit today. Well, not within the next hour. It's going to have to kind of let it flow and see what happens. Remember, any questions that pops up, by all means, just give a shot. Let me know. We can take it from there. Okay, looks like it's trying to make that turn. Let's have a check at the 15, see what that's doing. Hopefully we're seeing something a bit different. Okay, it's starting to want to make the upward swing. Hopefully that can still continue going with the down. Let's check 4 hour. 4 hour still strong in its momentum. Ones to, okay, hopefully it can get to that level and pass it. We'll see. But all in all, this is going to take time. That's the thing. Can't rush this. It needs all the time it needs in order to reach its levels. So don't get frightened if it gets close to the stop or anything like that. Just leave it. Let it run. Okay, because that's what we want to do in the end. Once you've taken your entry, you literally want to be able to remove yourself from the screen almost. Yes, I sit and check for new entries only from 9 to 12, and I don't worry about anything after that unless, well, obviously for my 15-minute setup. So just waiting for the moves to complete and get their swings in so that they can push to where they need to push and we can get the results we're looking for. Like I said, I really don't think this is going to happen within our session at all. It's probably only going to happen, later the afternoon. Might actually even only happen tomorrow. So we're just going to need to check and see exactly, how it's going to transpire. So we've taken 3 trades so far today, and we have lost 1 already. But in the 2 we are in with currently, they're running in a slight drawdown. Expected, like I said, this is what we expect with the stochastic setup. What I'm liking though, check out. Uh, boom, boom. I like seeing that. Second divergence being set up. So we could have another shove down that we're looking for. Okay. So when I see it like that, that's when I tend to start smiling, because it looks like it's setting up for the way I want it to go. Beautiful. So this just needs the time. Okay, it's definitely making that turn now there. Ooh, there we go. Starting to get some movement. Could get interesting now. Could get really interesting. Okay, under 4 minutes left. Let's have a look. Slowly but surely moving down. Almost 30 seconds before we get the confirmation of the cross, and it should start heading lower. Okay, confirmation's there. Now it's just to wait and see how far it will drop. The divergence is there. 15, let's look at what that's doing now. It's got the cross, but it's definitely looking like it's wanting to go lower, which is cool. That's what I want to see. We might even get another entry coming up for the 15-minute moving average setup. All depends on whether we're going to get another cross down happening on the stochastic. We just need to wait and see. But if it goes, it's going to be good. We're going to have 4 entries in total for the day. We just have to wait and see how it pans out. So far, so good. Nice flow so far. Already got my one trade moving into profits now. Pushing lower. Let's get back to the 5. See what that's doing. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful push down. Nice big candles. 5-minute stochastic is just starting to move further down in its pathway. Got about just under 40 minutes left in our session. Okay, coming back up. Oh, good. That candle still has a long way to go, though. Okay, that one's pushing up a lot higher. So obviously the bulls are trying to push this further up again. And next candle. There we go. like it's kind of unsure about what it wants to do now. We'll just see. Okay, nice, nice. Candle moving downwards now. Looks like it's finally agreeing to make that push down. How far can you go? Let's hope it goes far enough. Getting into some profits now on the one trade. Just. It's the big wait. So anyway, we've got just under 30 minutes left in the session. Let's have a look if we've got confirmation on the 15 for an entry. 15, nothing yet. Remember, we're waiting for the cross down on the stochastic. Any downwards cross on the stochastic gives us an entry. And we need a trade bigger than 150 points with stop to entry for that system. Okay, so it's still struggling to push. Had the new candle form on the 5 minute. Let's see what that's done. Okay, gone lower. It's good. Are there any other questions that are popping up? And if you would like to ask, if so, just use the chat feature. Okay, all good. Not a problem, William. Thanks for letting us know. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, I'll check you again in the evening then. Okay, hopefully we would have had, some winners transpire by that point in time. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day then, William, and check you this evening. Slow movement now. Not really a lot happening. Okay, pushing further down, looking a bit better, but we needed to move more. Okay, starting to push up. Not really much going on. Let's look at the 15. Is that doing anything new? Not getting across yet. I'll definitely be checking that out for a little bit later during the day. Okay. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that every 15 minutes now because it's close to giving a second entry. And if both those entries go my way and the extra one that's going to be taken, it should be a profit of at least 7% for the day. Okay. That's all high hopes. We'll just have to wait and see exactly what this is going to do. This could go out anyway, though. Okay, 10 minutes left in the session. Like I said, there's not really a lot going on now. We're just waiting to see if this is going to, produce something a little bit better. All good, Bevan. Shot for joining in, man. Great to have had you on. Is it? I'll probably only be on for a couple of minutes longer. Like I said, there's not really much happening. We're just going to have to wait. So hopefully tonight we'll have a much better idea of what has happened. But yeah, I'll see you this evening then. Just remember to check the mails, check the spam folder because it does sometimes go through to that. And all should be good. Okay. But thanks for joining, man. Enjoy the rest of the day and check you later. Okay. So, good thing though is we're seeing that there's this current candle pushing down heavily now. I like seeing that. Okay. That's already making me smile. So, hopefully it can push even further. I should see what it does. Sometimes these things they need a bit of time to really kind of get to where we want them to go. And that's the main thing, It's making sure that you give the charts the needed room and time to reach those targets. 3 minutes left for that candle. Let's see, could we be getting anything on the 15? No, I don't think I don't really think we're going to see a cross happening. No, not now. And in the next candle, probably. So, yeah, I'd say at about a quarter past 10, a quarter past 12, I'll probably have another entry for the 3 moving average setup. But as of yet, no, nothing. Just going to need to wait. Wait a little while and see. Okay, 5 minute. You are doing what now? Oh, that was a quick change into nothing. Okay, big push up. What are we going to see? Again, look out, hit that bottom support level. You see there? Bump, bump, same levels. Bump. Support and resistance levels are beautiful. Awesome to trade with. Comes down to playing with price action trading. Okay, new channel formed. What is this going to do? It's our last 5 minutes of the session. I don't really think much is going to happen now. So, okay. Um, at this point in time, we're definitely waiting for probably later the day to really see what's going to happen. I'm just going to be checking in a short while, see if I can't get another entry on my 15-minute setup. So, yeah, at this point in time, guys, that's it basically for the live trading session. I want to thank you all for joining up. Okay. Um, take a note of the levels, okay, to kind of make sure whether we got there or didn't. If we squish down, there's the levels, okay? There's the take profits, the stop losses, the entry levels. Make a note of them, pop them down, and have a look at how it transpires throughout the day. Okay, so that you can at least, follow on what is happening with the trades we've taken today. Okay, now, like I said, if you did miss the session, you can just, kind of review it in that sense. But otherwise, that's that for today's session. Going to be seeing most of you then again this evening again. But guys, thanks for joining in. I hope you picked up quite a lot more today. Okay. And other than that, just pop me an email. Let me know if there's anything else. Okay. Right, guys. Thanks for joining in. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you this evening.